Rebel Wealth Radio, welcome. Here we're going to rip apart everything you learned about finance, mortgage, real estate, the lies, get down to the truth, and we're excited to share episode number 10 with you today. Chris Burns here to my left.
What's going on, everyone?
What's up?
What's going on, Steve? Happy to be here as always. Happy to rap with you guys and just start talking about any and everything. So kind of before we got on, we started talking about your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, and
right.
how to implement a plan to actually achieve them, right? Because we as humans, nature I feel like is we're dreamers, right? We dream about things, we want things, we see what other people have or what they've done, their successes, and I want to do this, I want to do that, and but what most people lack is action.
Do it,
right?
Yeah,
action. So we've talked about this with ourselves and just kind of where we're going and what we've been trying to build, and it's about action. So you have to first things first is you have to put down on paper, what it is you're trying to achieve, why you're trying to achieve it, and then what you're going to do to achieve it. And so
that's back to that clarity piece, because like if you don't know where you're going, how are you ever going to get there, right?
Exactly.
And people are so vague with that. They like to say, well, I want to be rich. Or
that's the thing. Yeah, it's not you're not detailed. What does that look like?
Yeah.
Well, what is rich to you? Because what's rich to you, what's rich to me, what's rich to someone else that's different things. So, someone in a different, someone else might say, well, I want to have $1 million and that'll make me rich. And that may be for you, that'll make you rich. So it just matters.
Wrong, but.
Well, that's definitely wrong, because $1 million is definitely not a lot of money anymore. But I'll say this. I don't care if you want $1 million or if you want 100 million or if you want 1,000. You need to have a plan in place to achieve each and every one of those goals at whatever level it is, and then you need to execute the plan. So what does that look like for you, Steve?
So we use a Clarity Report. Actually, Kelly and I take this so serious that we will rent a room, even if it's in town, just to get away from the team, from the distractions, from the children and everything. And we spend an entire day getting clear on, what's the long-term goal, the 10-year goal, the big, hairy, audacious goal, right? And then what's the 5-year, 3-year, 1 year? The reason we do that and get so entirely specific on where we're heading is so that we can break it all the way down to the daily actions.
Right.
What do I need to do daily to make sure I'm moving that needle towards the goal? So we're going to break it down all the way. And when we do that, we always hit that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the most important piece. And I think we have to also, just so people listening and people who ask us are clear that, even though you write down the goals and you write down the path and the plan to get there, that does not mean that it's going to happen without obstacles, right?
So you can expect them, right?
Yeah. So you're going to run into obstacles. You're going to run into, one of the biggest obstacles I feel like for me, and I'm a driven person. Like if you ever do the DISC assessment, the Tony Robbins DISC assessment, I'm a 99 on the D, which is the high. Like there's very few people that are 99 on the D when you start looking at overall DISCs. It's high up to at 99 out of 100. I mean,
that's Snoop Dogg high.
Yeah, it's like up there. So I'm very driven. But what I do, even me, someone who's very driven like me, I run into this problem, and I think that people that are less driven probably run into it a lot more frequently than I do. And that is the intensity of their motivation slows down. And so they're on it like, bam, I'm going to do this, drive. And then they hit an obstacle and then they're like, shoot. Or they even if they overcome the obstacle, right? Then that took so much out of them that their intensity and their motivation kind of slowed down. And depending on, so for me, the first, 20 years of my career, which is where I'm about at right now. I just turned 40 on Wednesday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. And I honestly feel better at 40 now than I've felt in all of my 20s and 30s. I feel like I'm
better looking.
I age beautifully. I've got phenomenal genetics. Yeah, so I feel like the next 20 years of my life is it's mapped out, and it's going to be.
Do you feel that pressure? Like it's a time clock? Like, because I feel it. All right, I'm older than you, but I feel like I'm running out of time to leave legacy.
Absolutely, and I feel like there is that pressure. I know that I can do it. The reality is I'm going to spend the next 20 years building wealth, and I'm going to leave that legacy. But I'm going to also, that legacy isn't just what I build for myself. It's who I bring along with me, and who I get to experience that journey with. So it's like you have a plan, you have things that you're wanting to do, and that you have a map to do them. You have to start implementing them. So what we just talked to people about is, hey, make a goal first. What is your goal? Like you can't just be vague. You can't just like, no, I just want to be rich. Like, okay, well, what does that look like? And how are you going to get to that number? So is that $1 million? Is that $2 million? Is that 20 million? What is that, right? Mm-hmm. So I think for me, and we'll talk about this like on you and I's scale is, and our goals are similar, but they are different. Mm-hmm. I don't have a number. So I don't have once I get to 20 million in the bank, I'm done. I'll be happy. Like I don't have a number. I measure it by when I don't have to work ever again, and my kids don't have to work ever again, which they will absolutely work because I will give them nothing. but I'm saying when I've created that, then I don't know what that number is. What if that number is $1 billion? I don't know. But I don't have a number. All I have is a work ethic, and I have I have goals, and then I have a coaching staff that is feeding into my life, and I'm putting myself around people that will lead me into those successes. So we always talk about putting yourself around people that are like-minded, mm-hmm. and that are wanting to see you win. So that's a big factor. That's a number one thing I think that people should start doing is look at the group of people that you're hanging out with on a regular basis. I'm not saying you can't have friends that are not motivated like you, but who are you spending most of your time with? Because that's going to determine where you go. It really is.
100%. You started off by saying, motivation to get you going. And like, I think motivation is important, like to motivate yourself a little bit, but motivation to me is crap. Like it doesn't last. It's not going to carry you to the big goal, but environment will.
Absolutely.
Like you spent some time.
Motivation's like an emotion.
Yeah.
It's like an emotion, mm-hmm. right? So it's hot and cold.
Yep. And it's not something predictable, sustainable, or anything. I mean, you can have ways, and I'm sure you do, I do, if I need to go into a situation ready for war, right? Like I know how to motivate myself.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a song, sometimes it's a video or whatever it takes, but that doesn't last, and that's not going to get you through the hard times. So you talked about obstacles. Like when you're going to hit those obstacles, what's going to motivate you through that? Nothing but the desired outcome on the other side.
And I think, for people like you and I, mm-hmm. With us is we already expect there to be obstacles. We expect there to be trials. And I think our wins are when we get through them. It's not like we get those and it's like, dude, if I'm going to beat this wall down, mm-hmm. right? And then that's going to be my win. Like there's no end in sight. Like there's going to be another obstacle. And when I beat it, like it just motivates me more.
For sure.
Yeah. So it's like when you start getting through things in life, and whether it's personal or business, when you start winning, right? Like things are hard and you start winning, that's when you realize that like, okay, I'm not going to slow down. And like, I know life's coming at me, whatever it is, you're going to have a moment of like, okay, how do I get through this? And then when you get through it, you just start realizing like, okay, I can do anything. Mm-hmm. It's funny. As growing up, I don't know if but like you hear people growing up like us, like we didn't come from money, right? So you hear people like, oh, you can achieve anything you want if you put your mind to it, dude. And it's like, yeah, you absolutely can. Yes, like you absolutely can. And you don't have to be where you're at. You don't have to stay where you're at. You can put your mind to something and understand that you can go accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. And it's not always going to be on the same scale as everyone else. So.
Yep. So we're diving into. I have a direction I want to go.
Yep.
Right. I'm going to get clear on where that is and broken down all the way down to what do I need to do daily to get there. How do you actually get to start taking action on it? Who are you going to be involved with? What are you guys going to do together? Like for my process is like I like to map it all out. I like to say, I'm going to get here. This is the strategy that I'm going to try to use to get there.
Yeah.
Right? Do I have to be flexible on that? Absolutely, right? Because we don't know. What are the obstacles? What are the things that are going to get in the way? What's the big projects that need to get done immediately?
Yeah.
Right? Who's responsible for those? And then move forward to taking action. I think when it's broken down, if you look at the whole picture of getting to...
It's overwhelming.
Yeah, and overwhelm causes you to not take any action.
Absolutely, and you take no action because you're overwhelmed. So you have to break it down and simplify it. And you also have to be... One thing that I've struggled with a lot, and this is something that, my coaching and even you have talked to me a little bit about, is I am very, very controlling over my business. I'm very controlling over just my own personal life. Like I don't allow anybody to do things for me. I have a hard time. I'm just like, I'll just do it myself because I don't know, it'll get done when I want it, how I want it, and it'll look like I want it. And then at the end of the day, also the only person accountable is myself. So if it's messed up, I have myself to blame and I don't have to worry about, pushing the blame on somebody else. So, as I've been coached and talked to, very, very successful people, they all are accountable to other people and they have to you can't get to the numbers and the dollars that, and the legacy that I'm looking to get to, by yourself. You have to have a team. You have to build wealth with a team. And so, but here's the thing, that team, yes, you have to have them, but they also have to be people you can trust. So, just having bodies is not the answer. You have to have bodies that are like-minded and that are capable of completing tasks that are given to them. So when you have a trusted team and you can say, hey, this is your lane, you're going to handle this stuff. This is my lane. I'm going to handle this stuff. You trust that. You don't have to follow up on their lane. Like, it's done. And that's where I'm learning to build that from a business standpoint, not only in what I do, on my day-to-day job in mortgage, but what I do with my business partners outside of mortgage, and with, just even the people in my life from a relationship standpoint too. Like, okay, this is your lane. Okay, my lane is this, and I'm going to trust that your lane is handled, and you're going to trust that my lane's handled, and you're not going to be barking at me, and I'm not going to be barking at you, because there's that trust there. And so I think that, I'm learning that you have to have a team to get to where you want to go, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing, but I always viewed it as a bad thing. Like, well, I don't need anyone because I'll just do this on my own.
Said every single entrepreneur ever in the history of ever, right?
Yeah.
Everyone thinks like only we can do it because only we were responsible, so only we can fix it, which all makes sense at a low level.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But we do have to scale through people, and trust is created through your team by being vulnerable to the team, having like mind and being on the same mission. So getting clear on where's the organization going? Are we all bought into the same mission? Are we all rowing in the same direction?
Right. And like what we were talking about, is when you start a business or you create a business or an organization, you have to, from the beginning, create core values, mission statement, all these things that you don't think about, but that are very valuable, right? Because especially if you're trying to build culture, because culture is the key to growing a thriving business, and everybody has to buy into that culture, or you're going to have Jenga pieces falling. It's all bad, sliding out from underneath you, and the towers coming crashing down. So all these things that I would have never even thought about, in the last 10 years, last 5 years probably of my career, I've really bought into that, and I've seen it work. I think that's the biggest thing, was when you see it work.
You have proof.
You have proof. It's easy to be like, okay, well, you've duplicated it. Nobody's reinventing the wheel. It's like, this is what you do, and this works, right? So
my approach is, we like to think we're the best in the world at what we do.
Yes.
But there's other people that can do it as well or better in each piece of the business.
Dude, and that's so humbling.
Like
when you realize, like we were talking about that last week in my office, you and I, or no, where were we? We were maybe at the house. I don't know. Anyways, we were talking and it was like, it's like, man, I just don't, nobody can do what I do as good as I do it. I'm so thorough. I'm so good. And it's like, no, there's other people that are as good, dude. And I think that, and I don't know if that's a prideful thing. It's just it's like yeah, okay, yeah, like that's humbling. Yeah, there's somebody, and there's probably somebody that can do it better. No, there's somebody that can do it better, right? So nobody wants to say that about themselves. No,
that was probably painful for you to say.
It is painful for me. When it comes to mortgage, it's painful because, if you're telling me, oh, hey, somebody can, create a business and take it to, $1 million, from nothing to $1 million quicker than you. Yeah, I have no problem saying. But when it comes to mortgage, there is a prideful thing there, because I'm like, that is something that I've spent 18 years. What I believe is perfecting it and knowing it inside and out, where I'm not just a loan officer. I'm a mortgage professional, and this is what I do, and I do it. This is like, I always say, like, I got in this business when I was 21 years old. Mm-hmm. I have a high school diploma. That's it. And
that's all it takes, baby.
Yeah. But and then you get to where you're earning 7 figures, and it's, you go, okay, well, this is all I know. I don't know anything other than this, what I've been doing since I was 21. So you feel like, oh, well, I've spent every waking moment for the last 18 years just perfecting this, and so I'm the best at it. And you start realizing that you're not, I'm not taking anything away from my ability, but there's other people that can come in. And so from that perspective, same thing with the businesses that we start and that we run. It's, we want people to come in that can do it better than us,
Until we let that go and let somebody take those pieces on, we're denying people a blessing.
Yeah,
because there's
absolutely.
people that do not want to run businesses. They don't have those aspirations of 10, 100 million.
Yeah.
And you're denying them a spot on your team where they could be thriving and helping drive you towards the goal.
Absolutely. We got a good marketing guy, though.
We do.
Yeah. I heard he's available for hire. Hey, Andy's loving it. Like, he's got enough capacity to handle about 4 or 5 more businesses.
Let's go, Andy. Yep.
Andy, we're calling him out. Put him out here.
Yep.
He's hired.
Grab some earphones.
Yeah, we'll interview him on the next one and be like, hey, Andy, so you got those videos ready for our grand opening? It'll be really good. It'll be really good. We love Andy. Andy's great.
Yes, sir.
Andy is our guy.
I was blown away at how good the podcast looked and stuff.
That's what he does.
I know, he's really good at it.
He is phenomenal. So when we head to do our like live broadcast in like Bali or something, we'll just take Andy with us.
Heck yeah.
Does that sound good?
Yep, he can pay for it.
That's right. Well, he'll be flying on our Cessna CJ4. Cessna CJ4. Look into that, guys. We'll have one soon, and we'll charter it out. $2,900 an hour. That's not bad.
Everything that we do needs to make money. So
absolutely.
If it's planes, where we travel, all that
Airbnbs. Stuff. Yep. Looking at the first one. So what's your next? What is your immediate goal, Steve? Right now, right in front of you. What's the first thing that's on your? Let's just talk about this. How about? Mm-hmm. Let's talk first and foremost. Congratulations on 100 deals sold this year. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And that is something that is it's so far ahead of everybody else in the industry in our market. It's amazing. So that's a testament to your guys' hard work and grinding and your submission to coaching. And dude, that's awesome. And I love seeing it, and I love being a part of that growth with you guys. And it's really cool. So the rest of the year, so we've got the last quarter of the year, October, November, December. Mm-hmm. What are your goals on the next 3 months to finish out both personal and business?
Yep. So my goals is we're breaking apart our business right now, and we're allowing more room to grow the team members and the people on it. So Kelly, her love and passion is in the high end. She likes to do the luxury. So she's made a big leap towards doing more of that luxury market. What that allows us.
Is that why she's in Belvedere, California right now?
That's why, yep. Selling that your partner's $60 million home.
Dude, I couldn't believe it. We could talk about that in a minute too.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. So we're bringing in, I'm training 3 people to hit the phones for us and stuff to generate more opportunity for the team. And then we're looking to put in a CFO to help us manage the money because we got great at making it, but we're not real clear on, how much is there.
The managing of it. Yeah.
So we want to bring somebody in that loves to do that because it's not me. I'm very good at spending it and eating it. We all have talent. But
I don't think anybody spends like I do, man. And I'm a spending freak.
But yeah, we're doing that, and then we're also laying out the foundation to make our business more duplicatable. So that we can move it.
That's good. That's really good. You want to be able to move it to other markets.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we're coming into Butte County, hot and heavy. We grabbed some big producers up there, a UFC fighter. And we're going to expand into that territory pretty fast. It took us, 3.5 years to compete with the top brokerages here in this town. So our plan is to do it in 1 year there.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. I love it. And what I love is that you guys put a plan in place and you're executing that plan.
Yep.
So that's awesome. And I do accept the invitation to get in the ring with the UFC fighter. I do accept that invitation.
Yeah, I'm going to be in there with him too, with water, towels, whatever he needs. Yep.
How many of us is it going to take?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, if you start winning and you start getting some progress with that, man, then I will help you. But if you're losing, you're on your own.
You're winning. I'm
not getting beat up.
I'll pinch his ear. That's awesome, man. Yeah. Well, I love seeing the success, and we definitely champion each other, and that's huge.
For sure.
And I know, like, you and I we have this podcast, and we've always been cool, and we connect, and but I want to see all of the people I know. I champion them all, so it's not just like, oh, I'm championing Steve and that's it. And he's like, we want to see everybody succeed. That's within our that we know, and that's within our circle that reaches out. And
not everybody's ready for that. I've seen a lot of people, they think, my wins take away from your wins.
That's the thing is they get, it's like you see this chatting between you and I, and it's like, well, wait a minute. Like no, do we want everyone to win? Like we can all win. The pie is not, there's plenty of pie out there for everyone to eat. Like
your pie is limited to what limits you put on.
But there are a lot of people that they get like, oh, well, if I give him this or if I help him with that, that's going to take from me. Well, that's called a scarcity mindset, folks, and you will never, ever, 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 how many evers can I say?
3 more.
You will never make it. You will never have an abundance if you have a scarcity mindset. Yep. And there is no part of me that is envious of any other loan officer that's making more than me. Dude, I'm nowhere near the top echelon of income earners as loan officers. And I brought loan officers in this business that are making more money than me right now, and I champion that. That's amazing. All that does is that credits me to my ability to see
impact others.
And to see somebody that can be successful, and then I champion them in that. Dude, like, I bring people into the industry, and it's like, that's fine. I'm not like, oh, well, now I bring someone in and that's less realtors for me. That's less buyers for me. I don't know. Like, I don't have that. That is crap. It's utter crap. I don't have a scarcity mindset. And if you have a scarcity mindset, that is your absolute Achilles heel right there.
I help realtors from other brokerages, no financial gain, all the time.
Dude, I have agents of mine. This happens literally daily, no exaggeration, that they are loyal to me. They've worked with me for many years, but they have buyers that come in pre-approved with another lender, and the lender is dropping the ball, or they can't get answers. They will call me knowing that I don't have the deal and ask me, hey, what do I do here? How can I save this deal? Or hey, the lender's telling me this. What's this? And you think I'm like, I don't know. What's the call that lender because you didn't give me the buyer. Nope. Because guess what? That relationship to me means more than a buyer. So absolutely, I'm going to help my agent. And any of my agents listening and watching can all testify to this, that they can call me anytime. And they don't have to be like, hey, I know you don't have this buyer. They just like, hey, I've got this buyer dealing with this. Tell me this, Chris. They trust me. I'm a trusted advisor. They know I'm going to give it to them straight. And and so they asked me, and I'm happy to help. There is, because guess what? A lot of those times that buyer actually ends up coming to me because they don't get it done there, and it's like, okay, well,
it's like a bonus byproduct though. Same with agents, like I talk to agents mostly in private at night, like they're maybe embarrassed to talk to their broker, whatever. But so I help them, but in helping them, my skill set is improved.
Yeah,
now
absolutely.
I've got more experience helping them, and then teaching you learn yourself better, right? So
100%. And I think that's a big deal, is like, you have to be able to be willing to help others, because you ain't going to grow unless you help others.
Nope.
You have to help others. You have to be okay with, and realize that, dude, so how many billionaires are out there, and how many companies do they own, and how many employees do they have? Like, stop with the scarcity mindset. Stop.
Yeah, there's plenty of business.
Stop it.
100%. Stop with that mindset.
Stop with the mindset.
Stop with this episode. We are like totally running out of time.
Yeah. No, we're not.
You want to do another one? We'll do some back-to-back stuff right now.
Keep rolling. No. Yep. Yeah, like, there's just change your mindset. Keep focused. Put a plan together. Recap. Put a plan together. Put it on paper, and execute.
Take action.
Take action.
Take action.
Take action and execute it. And I think that if you and don't let yourself get overwhelmed with the big plan. Take action on the little things. Like, okay, well, the first step is get to this. Take action and get there. And once you achieve that, then you're like, okay, I can do something.
That's right.
Now I'm going to do something else and something else and something else. So
here's an action you can take right now. If this episode has helped you in any way, share it with somebody that it'll help also, right? Stick with us, subscribe, follow us, and let us know how we can help you in the future. And we appreciate you guys being on. It means everything to us.
Absolutely. You guys take care. We'll talk to you next time.